All right, peace, family. We're back with another one, and I'm excited for today. Today is Monday, June the 15th, 2026, and we're here, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to get the show on the road, and we have a good day of trading, right? Like, that's all I want. All I want is a great day in trading. All I'm looking for is a opportunity to be able to make some money today in the markets. So, thank you all for joining me. Those of you who are joining me, we got a great day ahead of us, and I got some good. I got some good to share with you all. Right? Let me go ahead and turn this down. I got some good to share with you all. Y'all know we've been talking about our CEOs, our black CEOs, and our great leaders within America who has made a real difference, but really haven't had an opportunity to have the light shine on them, right? Like really haven't had the opportunity to have the light shined on them. And I want to commend and give a special thanks, man, to Mrs. Carolyn V. Clark. Mrs. Carolyn V. Clark, we want to give a special thanks to her for being able to give us this lovely book here. Um, so that we could be able to dive into these CEOs, man, who have made a real impact in our community, right? I'm talking like a real impact. So anytime you get opportunities to be able to learn more, you take advantage of those, right? You take full advantage of those when they're given. So I'm excited. So let's take a look into the markets real quick. Um, last night we talked about on last night we talked about our weekly bias, right? If we were bearish or bullish on the week. And it felt as though, based off of what we saw, we were going to have, well, we had a bullish night on last night, right? Like everything happened the way that we said it would, right? Let's go ahead and switch over to the charts right here for you. And this is ES. Let's go to MNQ and we'll start there. So as you can see, we could remove this now. This was from last night. This is our new week opening gap. That's right here. This pink shade from last night. And we said exactly what was going to happen last night, right? Once the market opened last night, that we were coming to take out a previous month high, right? So that's exactly what happened, and we've been hovering around previous month high. You can see that we have some sell side liquidity right here. If I could spread this more for you all. But as you can see, we have some sell side liquidity here. We have midnight open right here. And this is our high right here at 36.25, 628. Um, and so I am very interested in seeing what happens. It seems as though I don't want to call this pretty much a double top, but we've been hovering over previous month high and we're above midnight open. Do we sweep liquidity that's resting here below midnight open? We have some equal lows here. We have equal lows there at sell side. So it looks to be interesting with how things pan out on M&Q today. So I'm really looking forward to this. Another thing that I want to take a look at is also I want to see how bull is performing in the pre-market. Pre-market, we're at $6.70 pre-market, so we could go a little bit to a higher time frame. and Webull is performing very, very well. Like I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Again, we bought more at around $5.66. You can see where our alert was. Uh, it missed our alert literally by an inch, right? And thank goodness that I was paying attention and I was able to, because it didn't hit our limit order, right? So I was paying attention enough to be able to go in and put in an order right here at $5.60. So we was able to catch more shares there. Um, and I'm happy and very excited about that. And I just look for Webull to continue to do its thing and just thrive um, within these markets based off of what it is or what's going on. So let's go ahead and do a rundown real quick at everything. We see crypto moving, but let's just take a look at other options, right? That we have that is outside of our futures market. So let's take a look at Nvidia NVDL. This right here, obviously, is the ETF, but this is the one we use to trade our options on. So those of you who are option traders and you're looking for a cheaper way of being able to acquire those shares, NVDL is definitely one. Just remember it's a 2x long. So we see what's happening here. We could drop down to the intraday. And one thing that I probably would want to do is I want to ask you all a question. And this is very important because the reason that I'm asking this question is it's going to play on your weekly bias, right? So say for instance, right, we have SpaceX, right? And we also have Nvidia. Like these are the so far as of right now, with SpaceX being valued over 1.8 trillion. Obviously we understand the power of Nvidia and what Nvidia holds. With these two dominating both within the Nasdaq, do you think we are actually creating that bubble, right? And this is for long term bias, right? Like, do you think the bubble is now forming, or it has already been forming with AI? But because of that, do you think it's kind of like more standout now with SpaceX coming, or with SpaceX being here? Is already here. How do y'all feel about that? I honestly don't know how to feel about that. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I really don't. I really don't. So let's just take a look again. Here's Nvidia. So we're gonna take a look at the actual Nvidia chart. And you can see we're just someone's buying and we're resting right here above the 50-day moving average. We're still below the 200. And this is just on the 15-minute chart. But if we want to go to the daily and be able to just see how this is planning out fully on the daily, uh, you can see we're just a little bit slightly below the 50-day moving average. And we're resting at about at the 50% level, you know? You can see that buyers stepped in right here at the retracement on the 50% level at 231, $200.31. So you're starting to see some form of support here, but I still see some weakness forming. If we go out a little bit further on the weekly, you can start see a little bit of this bearishness starts to form here. Now, do we continue to pull back even more on the weekly to the 50-day moving average? If so, it's looking like, we're going to see a lower and a cheaper Nvidia. So, this is something to be able to pay attention to and keep our eyes on. We said the same thing for when it comes to let's take a look also at SDNK. a second. SNDK. I'm sorry. There we go. Look at this. SNDK has been, it's just, I don't even have the words for something that has been dominant within the markets as long as along with AMD, right? We see AMD just soaring this morning. Look at AMD. Obviously, this is AMDL, but we'll just go to the exact AMD chart right here. AMDL is also another alternative to AMD in which you could use. But when you see AMD, look at this. It's just I mean, this thing kind of leave you speechless in the sense of like, what were you doing if you didn't get an opportunity to be able to get involved into this, right? AMD has just been crushing it on the year. And let's just look for a second to see, like, if we just go here from these lows up to where AMD is and we just track, right? AMD literally is up over 177% in just 73 days. Isn't that insane? Resting at the 200-day moving average. Uh Obviously a buying opportunity, and if you were buying there, you are you're happy at the moment. You're happy at the moment. So, congratulations to those who took AMD. Let's take a look at Meta this morning. Obviously, Meta is below the 200-day moving average, right? So Meta is still showing some forms of bearishness, on Meta. So we want to be able to keep our eyes on those. So as we get ready to move back to the futures market, let's take a look at gold. Gold, we did not get a chance to be able to look at gold when we were doing our weekly bias on gold, but here we are. We see gold with a little bit of a retracement back to the upside. I just think it's just a relief rally with gold. Looking at it on the daily, I just think it's a relief rally happening here on gold. But overall, I mean, you may have opportunities for some longs today with gold. If we go to the intraday to be able to see exactly, you see you're above the 50-day moving average on a 15-minute chart. So there may be some opportunity there. Now, my question is, and here's the main question of the day, like question of the day, right? For those of you who trade, what is your buy? I mean, not your bias, but what is your trading model? What's your trading model? Right? Like for me, it's ICT concepts, but I'm just asking, and the reason why I'm asking this question is because it's very, very intuitive of having an understanding how you do trade, right? So those of you who are beginners in trading and you don't have an actual model that you can identify yourself with, or a system that you can identify yourself with, what is it that you're going to do in order to be able to be consistent in the market? What are you going to be able to do? Like gold looks as if, like, right now it's taking out this liquidity here, and perhaps it get a retracement. Maybe, I mean, I'm not really sure. Like, if we can see the overall move, obviously, here's the new week opening gap of what happened here, and it's just been on an uptrend. all morning, but you have to have a model in place in order to be able to remain consistent. Okay. Last night our bias was, I mean, we were fairly right on what we said we was going to take out previous month high, right? And obviously we've done that. I don't think we've done it on ES as of yet though. I don't think ES has taken out previous month high um at all. Like, why do I even have this here? Let's see. Let's check and see. No. So here at 76.11, if I can move this down, 76.11 is previous month high. Oh crap. Hate when that happens. So previous month high is here at 76.11. Obviously, I could shorten this so that we could stay within our initial target space. So we come here, draw this line. Obviously, the what I see that is good is that we did not do it on ES, right? We did not break previous month high on ES, which still gives me a sense of some form of bullishness that's here, right? Because we did not do it. And so if we did, then I will be looking for shorts to happen, right? Like we get a retracement with a continuation. So we'll put the text here on the left hand side, just on this one here. All right, so we got previous month high. That's right here. We did not take it out on ES. So as of right now, I'm just looking. Let's look at Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures. You can see the relief rally happening in Bitcoin. And that's all I call it. I call it a relief rally, right? Like obviously, um, here we could go ahead and remove this. Obviously, it's rallying, from the bearishness, but I said that it was going to come and invert this fair value gap that was here and continue to start perhaps maybe pushing even lower, probably getting up here where let's see, like if we could go from this initial high point, if we could go from this initial high point here, start at these highs and come here. I just think we get a pullback, to the 50 day moving average. Looking at somewhere around that 74 160, 71 300. Those are important levels to look for. If you're looking to have short continuation, right? Continuations within shorts. And do I think that that is what's going to happen? I mean, it remains to be seen, right? It remains to be seen. I mean, these are good key levels to be able to pay attention to, when you're paying attention to it on Bitcoin futures. So I'm just taking a look strongly at this. And so hopefully, okay, hopefully today is probably, I don't know. I don't know. Do we really engage today? That's what I'm hoping to see. Like, do we really engage today, or do we just sit here and have a day of where we try our best to understand where we're headed? Because this is an important week right here. If you take a look at news, we looked at news on yesterday, and what we have is FOMC happening, right? We had the Fed press conference, Fed interest rate. So I think this is Kevin Warsh first time speaking, right? And we already know and have an understanding of what his agenda is, right? We already know what Kevin Warsh's agenda is. Kevin Warsh's agenda is pretty much, for those of you who don't know, his agenda is pretty much he doesn't want the market to kind of have a true indicator as to where we're headed. It wants to keep us, he wants to keep us in the loop. And I found that very interesting in a sense. I don't know why, but because we're moving into this phase of where the dollar is changing, right? We see that. We see what has been happening with oil. Like, let's just take a look at oil real quick. Oil dropping all the way down to $80 based off on the news of them saying that, hey, Strait of Hormuz may be opening back up. Obviously they're not taking USD, they're taking Bitcoin, and they're accepting also the yuan, right? So we're down here at previous month low at the 200-day moving average on the daily in oil, which is something to be able to keep our eyes on, right? This is something to be able to keep our eyes on. So if we're still bearish heavily on oil, then obviously bearishness is going to I mean bullishness is going to be within indices. I see indices being very bullish if we continue on being bearish, right? If we continue on being bearish right now, I could see indices definitely moving forward, moving upward in an uptrend. There's no other way for me to be able to look at it. I can only see it from that standpoint. What about you? We're 1 minute away from market open. Yeah. Literally 1 minute away from market open. And I'm excited, man. So let's see how this thing pans itself out for today. So let's go ahead and start paying attention to ES and MNQ. Um, Market just now opened, and we want to drop down to our, obviously, let's go on our 5 minute chart, be able to see, give us a better idea and understanding as to where we're headed on the day. Do ES go ahead and take out previous month high? And look at that. Obviously, it chooses to take out buy side. And it's headed to take out previous day highs. So previous month high. I think maybe perhaps like today, this is the manipulated move, right? And we could short this probably back to midnight open. That's what I'm looking to do today. I'm looking to be able to, this is the initial move that is happening. We break previous month high. Once we break previous month high, I'm looking to be able to short this back to midnight open. If we're staying above midnight open today and it's just continuation happening, then, that's just it. But we have to be patient in situations like this. I just choose to be patient. I just choose to be patient, right? I mean, we could catch an entry here, but I don't want to engage too soon in the markets. Let's just be patient. Which everything is looking, quite as expected based off of what it is we said last night, right? Like last night, this is absolutely what we were looking for, what we were thinking that was going to happen, that the market was going to just skyrocket, right? And sweep previous month high, in which is doing. So you don't have to, there's nothing to pretty much rush right now here in the moment. Let's be patient. We did definitely have that entry though on ES to sweep previous month high. Like we really should have. But one thing that we kind of wait to do is allow the markets to be able to tell the story. So we're just allowing the story to be told. And right now, if we drop down to a lower time frame, like we could drop down to the 1 minute, and as you can see, this could be accumulation, sweep of previous month high, and then we look to short back to midnight open. That's here around 75.92. Like that's what I'm looking for on today. I mean 75.83. So I'm looking for the power of three here, accumulation, manipulated move of what we have here, and then distribution to the downside. So power of three could possibly be in place on today. So I'm still bearish to be able to take out midnight open. We are above midnight open, which is like if we take a look at in Q, look at that sweep on previous month high, man. That's just blowing it out the frame. Midnight open is down here. You have sell side liquidity resting here, right? We're looking at this on the 1 minute. So if I go up like a little bit to the 5 minute, you'll be able to see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So if you look at it on the 5 minute chart, right, we got sell side liquidity here. Um, Obviously, this could be a manipulated move here. Obviously, with this new deal with Iran, it's just you know manipulation, in my opinion, is happening. So you can be patient and not engage into the markets. I'm still looking to be able to possibly overall looking to short this to midnight open. That's just what it is of what I'm looking for. We have also, if you look at it on the daily, right? Like we have a daily imbalance too as well. So, you know, if you look at what we marked out on our levels on last night during our weekly bias show, and you could see where when we marked out previous month high right here on last night, and we had our new week opening gap form and happen right here, price just literally just blew right past that. So today, do we, you know, sweep liquidity here off of this manipulated move, and we short this to previous day high, which is Friday's high, right? That's what I'm that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm looking for on today. If it comes, it comes. If it don't, then whoop de doo. You know, we live to trade another. We live to trade another. We live to trade another. So so let's see what we have. We'll be a little bit patient, right? Let's check YM. Look at YM on the daily. YM has been seriously bullish. We take a look at it on the 5 minute. I mean, YM. I mean, the more I continue to look at this thing, guys, I all I see is like power of three happening, like accumulation. This is the manipulated move here, and then we get distribution probably to the 50 to 200 day moving average, to 52,060, in my opinion, on MYM. You can already see shorts starting to come in. So if we can be patient here, look at that right there. That sell side liquidity there. We got midnight open mark here. Take a look at ES. Wow, look at ES. This is interesting. And the only reason why I say that this is interesting is because I'm looking for displacement But we just have to be patient enough to be able to see. Look at the wick on this. That wick is insane. Go to the 2-minute chart where it looks a lot better on the 2-minute.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
So,
Impossible. Nina can't code. Interesting.
let's see. Looking like continuation is happening. Just have to be patient enough to see how this thing plays itself out. But if I were you, I would not be engaging into the markets right now. Not so keen on being sure exactly what, outside of the news with Iran, you know, I'm not so sure exactly. Here, we could take this off, be able to get a better view. But we're just hanging right there above previous month high. I'm interested in seeing how this thing continues to play itself out. I can see displacement happening. We may be able to take some shorts here. Like if we were to perhaps have candle closure below this level here. I don't even know if it's there. Like, here you go. So if we get candle closure below this level here, then obviously we could look for shorts. But as of right now, we're still not engaging. Nope, 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 nope. Still not engaging. Interesting to see how this goes and how this plays out. You see why I didn't second guess that level. I just knew that where the market was pushing, I was like, man, I still don't find this level as strong. So when we dropped down to the 1-minute chart, we was able to see that level much more clearer on the 1-minute. The minute that we slapped our displacement line there, what happened? Buyers stepped in, obviously, at this level. So this is showing a very good key level of strong support where buyers do exist. So if you were a scalper, that was an opportunity to be able to scalp right there at that level off of the pullback. But we're not looking to take any scalp trades. We're looking for that full trade, right? And I think we're going to get some bearish displacement right there and be able to take this thing back to midnight open. That's just my goal and what I see on today. So this is still the manipulated move of what's happening. So let's just wait for our model to present itself. Once our model presents itself, then we'll continue on with hopping into a trade. But while we're sitting here and we're waiting, right? I do want to talk to you all, man. Do y'all know this is an important week right here, right? Where we dive into um a little bit later on, right? Because it's just 9:47. Obviously, it's not 10 o'clock yet. We could get that 10 a.m. reversal. That's what I'm hoping for, right? So this is what I want to show. I want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. And trust me, what I'm going to show you is going to be a benefit. Not a benefit to me, but a benefit to you, right? This is what I'm looking um for that silver bullet trade, right? I'm looking for silver bullet at 10 a.m. and I think we're going to get that. It is panning itself out to look like silver bullet. And so if that do happen, this is going to be beautiful, right? With our first target being right here at that 200-day moving average, right here, right? This being our first target where this is here. Oh, this be our first initial target. And then I'm looking for a crack below midnight open. Like this is what I want today. So do we get that? Do we get our silver bullet trade on today? Look, this is just an idea. Obviously, this is not a trade, but this is the idea of what we're looking for on today. Right? So if I were to go to the 5 minute, you catch my drift? Are you catching the drift? Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Because with silver bullet, this is what you look for, right? Like I'm gonna remove this because this was just an idea. But what you look for in silver bullet, right? Like if we could drop down back to the 1 minute time frame, if you look closely at the vertical at these vertical lines of what we have here, where there's market structure. So if you look at the vertical lines, right, of what's here, you kind of see a market structure shift that has formed, right? So this market structure shift that has formed and happened here, right? We may be able to see it more over here once we hit 10 a.m. But let's just be patient enough to see. But we already see a shift in market structure already happening. But I'm thinking like this is going to be so primed for that to happen. We just have to exercise our patience. But like I was talking to you all about uh Mrs. Carolyn V. Clark, right? We wanted to give her a huge shout out, Miss Carolyn V. Clark, for writing the book, Take a Lesson Today's Black Achievers on How They Made It and What They Learned Along the Way. So those of you who want to know what the book of the day is, this is the book of the day here, right? This is the book of the day. And we're going to be discussing Mr. Hey, look, if you don't know who this guy is, If you don't know who this guy is right here, if you don't know who he is, I'm telling you, you're doing yourself a disservice, especially for those of who are my people within the black community. Um, we've been talking about him on our last two shows of what we've been discussing, but Mr. Kenneth Chenault, who we're going to be taking a dive into and what it is that he's accomplished, right? In his chapter in this book, he talks about controlling what you can control, right? So as traders, right? And this doesn't necessarily uh point directly into trading, right? It doesn't. Mr. Kenneth Chenault doesn't point directly into trading as far as him being an investor and a trader, no, but him as a CEO, his mindset, his brain, and what it is of what he shares, right? He sits on a lot of boards, right? Uh and I'll discuss what boards he do sit on, but this is a person where I tell you, you might want to take an opportunity to be able to either pay and grab this book, or you want to, you know, see if you could get the free PDF version, or whichever the case may be. But if you want to be able to go along with us and follow us on this journey of being able to study and learn about these CEOs, I really highly suggest um, you join us with this, because we're going to go over Mr. Kenneth Chenault today. We're going to go over what it is that he shared with us in his chapter, where he talked about control what you can, your own integrity, your own performance. And when you're a trader, you can only control what you can control. You can't control the markets. You can't control the markets. We can't control what we want to see happen in the market, right? Like right now, I want silver bullet. That's the trade that I want around 10 o'clock, right? I'm looking at 10 a.m. for silver bullet trade to come. That one trade, right? That just puts us in position to where, we just go, we hang it all out, right? To start the week. Like how cool would that be to be able to start the week off with a silver bullet trade, and it pans itself out beautifully for us? How awesome would that be? That would be very awesome, right? But we can't control the markets. The only thing that we can control is what? Hmm? We can only control what we can control. What we can control. We can't control nothing else. So on these charts here, if we do get silver bullet, right, this will be our first initial target. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let's go back to the right side. There we go. So we'll have target one, and then full TP could be, we could either go right at midnight open, right, for full TP. This is if we get silver bullet, people. So um if we were to get that trade, I will love that trade if we were to get silver bullet. But full TP to me will be a little bit below midnight open, and it will be here. Right? And this will be full TP. If that reversal comes and plays itself out around 10 a.m., in which we have 4 minutes for. I don't think we have any news that's coming up at 10 o'clock or anything this morning. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Monday, we have nothing. we have nothing. Tuesday we have housing and building permits, right? Which is pretty much nothing. And then Wednesday is an important day. We have FOMC. So let's drop down to 2 minute, guys, and let's see if we're able to get silver bullet, right? And we go to 1 minute time frame. So we're just still being patient, guys. We're not engaging into the markets as of yet. We are looking for a reversal to come. We're still pretty much in a premium that's here. So let's just be patient. Uh-oh. So as we're waiting for silver bullet, which I hope we get within the next 2 minutes here, right? I hope we get that silver bullet trade. Um, the one thing that has been like sitting on my mind, like I said, I've been really, reading a lot about our former CEOs, people who have been like real advocates within the community. Um, if you look at MNQ too as well, but people who have been real advocates in the community, man, like we really don't have those steppers now today. Oh, look at this, y'all. So if we go to ES, we may be able to get those shorts on ES of what we're looking for. Let me go ahead and pull up my account. There's the displacement we want. All right, it's time to lock in right here, guys. Let me lock in. Time to lock in. Why isn't is Top Step down today? Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to be patient here. Patience, patience. Patience is key. We don't want to rush anything. We're completely locked in. So it's looking like we're going to need a displacement below previous month high. Once we start breaking down that previous month high, then we may be able to engage into the markets that way. But as of right now, with it being 10:02, I'm not touching it as of yet. But let's see. I would love to have a candle close below previous month high. But we'll see. I don't want to engage too soon. You see why we didn't engage in that chat, even though the market was pulling itself back? We did not engage. We took our time and we're exercising a level of patience. If it comes back and it takes out liquidity that's here on buy side, then we just continue to be patient. Allow it to play itself off out, not off, but out. Allow it to play itself out. You're going to get that trade you're looking for. I promise you. Sitting here though, I still do want to. Let me go ahead. I want to check bull right quick. Ooh, we ran up to 697, 699 this morning. Oh man, 699 this morning, almost cracking $7. Yo, Weeble was nothing but a buy at $5, y'all. Weeble was nothing but a buy at $7. I kid you not. It was nothing but a steal. Nothing but a steal. Oh, that's crazy. So I gotta do something real quick. Let's go back to ES. I gotta do something real quick. I gotta sell off some shares. Ooh, y'all, this looking like perhaps we may get silver bullet. Patience. Patience. I think we continue on a little bit higher, so I'm just going to wait and see. It's at 685 right now. But it looks like silver bullet might be coming in for us. And if so, there we go. I think this is our entry. 74.16, 13.
Order filled.
All right, chat, we're in on this trade. And we're shorting all the way to 75. Hold on. We want to take this all the way. To here. 75.82. All right. So you heard it. Our order is now filled. We are into the trade. And we got filled here at 76.17. Right? No, that's our stop loss, 76.17. So we're filled at 76.14. 76.14 is where we're filled. So right now, if we go up to 76.14, boom, this is us right here. So this is our first initial target there. But we want full TP. So our full TP is a little bit below midnight open. So this is the trade right here, 76.14. All right, we're in it. Let's see how this thing pans out, man. I'm liking these levels of where we are. You know, this is I I'm feeling on this silver bullet trade right here. And man, it's just a matter of us hanging in there. It's just a matter of us hanging in there. Uh, you know, throwing punches in this thing to be able to see how this thing plays itself out. So we're in. Y'all heard our order get filled. We have our stop loss at 76.17. Let's see, 21, 19, 18, 17. So right there. Definitely cut risk day on today. So, but we're into the trade. So let's see how this thing pans itself out. And we're actually not 75, but 25. There we go. Okay. We just got to be patient, patience. It's a beautiful trade, though, in my opinion, of where we're in. We're breaking consequent encroachment, market structure shift happening here. To me, this is silver bullet, right? Like at its core. So, uh, let's just see how this thing pans out. Um, we might have to increase our stop a little bit to go a little bit above these wicks here, just in case it decides to inverse that fair value gap on the 1 minute. So that would take us to 19. So we're just waiting to see. Let's just be patient and allow the trade to play itself out. Patience is everything here. So while we're waiting for this trade to play out, like obviously, let's talk about a little bit more about Mr. Kenneth Chenault. Man, I kid y'all not, like he has been, the more that I continue on and reading his story, right? Like I'm gonna pull up a lot of what it is of what he's done so far um in a few minutes, right? We're gonna pull that up and we're gonna have a good conversation about Mr. Chenault. But he always talk about controlling what you can control, right? So like I was telling us earlier, when we're trading, we can only control what we can control, and we're not here to try to force anything, right? We don't want to force anything of what's taking us outside of the normalcy of what we do as traders. Do not force anything of what you see or what you do outside of the normalcy of being a trader. Your job is to trade. Your job is to identify key levels within your trading and to trade those levels. You plan the trade, trade the plan. And when you operate like that and you have a better understanding of that, then you don't get yourself so caught up into doing things that is outside of what you're supposed to do as a trader. You just don't. Jeremy, what is an example of that? An example of that is breaking your own rules. That's why I asked earlier within the show, like, what is your model? What is your model? What is your trading model? How do how do you assess the market? And with most people, what they will say is, oh, well, I I trade ICC, or you'll have people say, well, I trade this model or I trade this. And so then when you start asking them, well, when you back test, what is your win rate back testing, or what is it that you're actually looking for within the market? Like can you identify specifically what your plan is when you go to make a trade? And 10 times out of 10, most of those people cannot give you a true plan. They can't give you an entry. They can't give you where they're exiting the trade. Only thing they're giving you is something of what they think they know how to do when it comes to certain models or whichever they present and what they say that they trade. And this is just being honest. Like this is no knack or a knock against anybody that's out there, but it's just a matter of you as a trader being able to help identify with what makes you great, right? So that you can continue on within that and you can just practice each and every day, each and every time you get an opportunity to be on the charts and in the markets. Therefore, you don't have what we call FOMO in trades, right? Fear of missing out on trades. Not just FOMO, but also analysis paralysis, right? To where you studied too much to where you know nothing at all. How many people you know that's like that? That study a whole lot but know nothing at all, period, or have yet to exercise anything of what they've studied into a real market. That used to be a thing. Like back when I was wholesaling property, right? Um one thing before I started was I knew so much information, but having so much information only did what? Gave me analysis paralysis. So much so that I wasn't even making any sales. It was until I jumped out the gate and was like, okay, it's really time to do this, was when I started making money. But I had to literally jump out the gate in order to be able to do it. Things just don't happen as easily as you want them to unless you're putting forth the effort and the energy and the time into doing it. And that's just what they say. And that's just the bottom line. Yeah, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line in it. Obviously, so what we're seeing right now in this trade, obviously buyers are stepping in heavy at around 76.12, 76.13. They're right here heavy. This is where we were saying like we wanted candle closure below this level, in which we did get, right? So as of right now, I don't know if we're going to inverse that fair value gap we have on a 1 minute. Um, in which we may end up doing, and then the market just continues to start pulling itself back after that. But as of right now, buyers are very strong right here, sitting around that 50-day moving average. So hopefully we could crack below that and just continue on with this trade. So this is where we're exercising that patience on this manipulated move here. If we get stopped out, hey, we get stopped out, and we look for another opportunity. But we're going to exercise our faith here, right? Right? I think we should. I see no reason into closing out on this position too early, too soon. That's why we have a beautiful stop loss in place. So we're just going to be patient and see how this thing plays itself out. We're just hanging around that 76.14 level where buyers are. So we're kind of heavy right there. So hopefully we could go ahead and get some displacement, some full displacement to the downside right here. And we could continue on with this trade. I'm still liking what it is that what I'm seeing. Um the only thing it is that worries me is that fair value gap we have that's on the 1 minute chart. That's the only thing that worries me. Let's take a look at MNQ. So MNQ right now is pretty much doing the same thing at 3,700. So if MNQ decides to break down right here, and we could take a look at MNQ, so you all could have an idea as to what it looks like. So you can see MNQ deciding to, like, once it starts breaking down, I think ES follows, and I think it comes and takes out sell side. I honestly think it comes and take out sell side. If it do comes and take out sell side on MNQ, then obviously you got to call that a banger, right, for us getting to full TP on MES. But it remains to be seen. So we're still going to be patient. We're still going to wait to allow this trade to play itself out. We're not we're not touching our stop loss at all, period. Right? We just plan the trade, trade the plan. Plan the trade, trade the plan. And everything should work out in our favor. Everything should work out in our favor. So you can see those buyers are very strong within this area right here, right? So if we go back to where we were this morning, remember when we made this displacement where we were looking for displacement below this level here at 7608, and we was like, man, buyers are very strong right here at 7608. You see that bounce here, and then it had a retracement, and then this bounce here, which gave us the move all the way to buy side liquidity. And then you could see now, you had an initial bounce there, and buyer stepped in again right there. So they're showing themselves strong. Maybe we get a sweep of that fair value gap that we were talking, and then price just starts to reverse there. But if it inverts that fair value gap, then obviously we're gonna close the trade and close out our position. Because then at that point we'll look for another entry. Which do sucks, right? But we did touch that fair value gap that was right there, and the market is showing some selling pressure that is happening right here. So hopefully we're able to get that move of what we're looking for and get a full displacement below that level. Like, it's the fact that we had candle closure there here. Here, let's do this. I want to do something fun. We want this magnet to pull us all the way down to our final TP right here. Come on. Come on. We're just consolidating right here, guys, and y'all know how I feel about consolidation, but we're just going to continue to hold and see, what this gives us. But what we did here, for those of you who are just now joining us and you want to know why we took this trade, we were looking for silver bullet to be able to take on this trade here, and it did present itself, right? That's why we were able to get our entry point of what it is, of where we started in this trade. We had a shift in market structure here, right? We had a fair value gap where we entered into the trade. And if you take a look at this on the I mean, we could go 5 minute, right? Like, even if you look at this on the 5 minute chart, obviously we didn't get the closure of what we wanted on the 5 minute chart yet, but hopefully it happens. Like, but you can see we've been wicking down into that. So it just remains to be seen right now. It remains to be seen. This is very interesting. It's one of those trades where you know you just got to be patient. I think this is one of the toughest and hardest parts as a trader, right? Exercising patience, especially when the trade is not going your way and then you enter into drawdown. So let's just wait and see. Okay, so we're fully inversing on that fair value gap. If we break above it, I'm just going to close out our position. Patience is virtue right here. So here's sell side, like right here where I have this blue line. Let me go here to the 1 minute. This is sell side here. So let's just be patient to see. Here, we'll put this here. All right. All right, Chad. I think we're gonna close out on this one. No, let's continue to hold. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, is the reversal coming in now? Is the reversal coming in now? Look, we were talking about closing, and let's continue to hold and wait and see. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. This is probably why you have the stop, where you have your stop loss, Jeremy. Being patient, Jeremy. Y'all saw how quick I was just quickly about to give up on the trade. I was like, all right, guys, we getting ready to close. And then boom. Right at what time though? 10:30. 10:30 coming in very, very strong. But let's see how this thing do. Let's see. It's teasing us, chat. This is teasing us. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it at all. This is teasing us very heavily here. But it is now 10:30, so we're just gonna be patient. Everything oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So we're just gonna be patient to see if this plays itself out exactly how we want to. If we are to crack below this level here, this is where I would want to drag my stop. That's if that happens. I don't like the teasing here, man, that's happening right here at the 50% level. Like the consolidation of what's happening and going on here, I really don't like this at all, period. I don't. So I have not touched my stop loss at all, period. I'm really not liking what's happening here on this trade. I'm just not. I'm not locking. I'm not liking the consolidation of what we're in right now. And it's tough when you're being stuck into this. But like Mr. Kenneth Chenault talked about is control what you can control, right? Control what you can control. Obviously, we can't control what what we want to happen thus far within the markets, but what we were looking for within Silver Bullet was just there. You had market structure shift happens. You had candle closure below previous month high, and obviously where our stop is still good. Like I'm still in the trade. I'm still in the trade. My positions is still open. I have yet to touch anything. So, but where my orange line is, if we do start to get indie candle closures there, that's where I'll move my stop loss to break even. And you see where we have our first initial target. So our first initial target of what we're looking for is that sell side liquidity that is right. Well, not the first. level of sell side, which is here, right? But we also have sell side liquidity that is down here at target one. So that sell side liquidity of what we have here at target one, that's where we're going to take partial. And then if we start cracking below midnight open, just a little bit below midnight open is where we have our full TP. So that's the trade of what we were looking for today. Um, right now we're just consolidating. We're stuck in consolidation. Um, and so we're just being patient, waiting to see. So this trade is moving in and out of profit, right? And so that's where that discomfort can lie within you. But again, like we were talking about earlier within our book, right? Our book of the week. What's our book of the week? Go over to our book of the week. Our book of the week here is Take a Lesson Today's Black Achievers on How They Made It and What They Did to Learn Along the Way. Obviously, majority of them in here probably do trade, but their jobs as far as them being CEOs, like Mr. Kenneth Chenault being the CEO of American Express, right? Like, did you know that? He was the CEO of American Express. And let's just go ahead while we're waiting on this trade. Let's just dive into some key notes about Mr. Chenault, right? Like, so I took some notes here about Mr. Kenneth Chenault. So Mr. Kenneth Chenault is the former chairman and CEO of American Express Company, leading the company from 2021 to 2018. That's a 17-year run. Since stepping down, he has served as the chairman and managing director of venture capital firm General Catalyst. 10-year highlights at American Express. His groundbreaking leadership, Chenault made history as one of the very first Black CEOs of a Fortune 500 company. Crisis management. He drew widespread praise for leading American Express through the aftermath of 9/11 and the 2008 global financial crisis, securing bank holding company status for the firm. His industry acumen. Warren Buffett, a major shareholder, publicly called Chenault the gold standard for corporate leadership. His current roles and board memberships, in addition to his role at General Catalyst, Chenault continues to be a major figure in corporate governance as and activism. He sits on numerous prominent boards, including Berkshire Hathaway, that belongs to Warren Buffett, Airbnb, right, and Built Rewards. That's some news for you right there. That's some news for you right there. That's Mr. Kenneth Chenault. So his chapter, in which we will be breaking down a little bit more of his chapter later on in our PM session on today, when he talk about controlling what you can control. It is really good, and it's really good for people who are traders, right? Like, especially if you are a day trader, um, you can only control what you can control, right? He says your performance is what you also can control. And so how you show up every day, how you get up and you approach the markets every single day, that's where your performance and your control lies within yourself. And so if you can continue on with that pattern and that approach, you never know where this thing could take you. You just never know. So Mr. Kenneth Chenault, and those of you who want to know who he is and what he looks like, I have a picture of him. This is Mr. Chenault right here. That's the man, Mr. Kenneth Chenault. So do a little homework on him. I know y'all got those American Express bank accounts. You know what I mean? I mean those credit cards, those American Express credit cards to my bank accounts. But you'll learn a lot from a person that's like Mr. Chenault. You sure will. So in this trade, if we could get back to this trade and what we have going on, obviously we're stuck within this consolidation pattern of what's happening here. I do not like this chat. I don't like this at all. Us being stuck in this right here is not what I wanted, right? We want a continuous move to the downside, but this is where we have to exercise our patience. So Let's just continue to exercise our patience. We're still hanging above the 50-day moving average. Obviously, it's looking like we're about to crack below the 50-day, but we're still hanging above the 50-day. You can see buyers stepping in very heavy around those key levels of what it is, of what we pointed out at around sell side. Sell side has not been taken out fully yet. We don't have any candle closure above sell side. That's right here on the 1 minute chart, right? But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. We're looking for more candle closure below previous month high, but still nothing there. So we're just being patient at the moment. Just being patient at the moment. So those of you who want to know if I'm actually in a position, I could show you right here. As you can see on my Mac, I'm actually in a position here, a live position. I don't like to trade while I'm on my of what I'm using to stream with. I don't like to trade on that computer. I like to trade separately on my Mac. But as you know, I share those trades with you all. So here's where we are with it. Let's see what we get. It's 10:43. This is one of those days. Cause I think that huge move, like we were talking about earlier this morning, like we were looking for seriously power of three. That's what we were looking for on this morning, where you have your accumulation move that took place and happened here, right? Obviously, this being the manipulated move of what we have here, and then we're looking for distribution down here to the downside. So this is what we're hanging our hats on. This is what we're waiting for. Is power of three right here within this situation. So hopefully we didn't get in too early. But I mean, how could you not get in when you start seeing the displacement in the break below previous month high? Um, Obviously we did have a fair value gap on the 1 minute chart, but we ended up inversing on that fair value gap, and price did continue to go lower, but now we're stuck in this consolidation period. We have no news coming up at all, period. So right now it's looking like it's creating higher highs, higher lows. So we need a break in structure. A real break in structure. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking this at all. Look at that. So if the trade plans itself out, then kudos to us. But if not, you know, it's okay. We live to trade another. We'll come back strong in the PM session to be able to see uh what we can draw out of that. But I'm not liking this chat. I think I'm going to get ready to perhaps maybe close this trade. But I don't know. Is it going to do it to us again? Right? Like every time we get ready to close, it's like I don't know. It's just been teasing us all morning. All morning. It's been a tease all morning. This has been one of those toughest trades so far that we've been in. I just don't like it. I hate being stuck in this position. But meanwhile, while we're sitting here waiting on this trade to play itself out, right? We're staying above the 50. If we start to crack above these candles here, we got relative equal highs that is sitting there. Um, then we could probably look to close. But us sitting in drawdown right now is something that I don't really like. Y'all know I like to have those sniper entries. And we had a very good solid sniper entry. I mean, if you look at where we had a very beautiful sniper entry back here, but we're just, I don't know. Market maker models are playing with us on today. All right, so we're getting stopped out of this trade. Uh, we actually got stopped out anyway, so yeah. So that's it. That's it for us. We're not going to engage furthermore. Um, hmm. Yeah, we're not going to engage furthermore. Like I really liked our entry point of what we had already currently. And obviously the market is just continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. So I don't know what its initial plan is. I guess it's going to sweep buy side maybe one more time and then catch a reversal. But it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. So I appreciate you all for joining me on today. Uh, as you can see, you can't win them all, right? You can only control what you can control. And as a trader, Mr. Kenneth Chenault has taught us that, right? Control what you can control. And that's what we're going to continue to do. And we'll be back PM session to be able to take on the markets again. Obviously, we're not going to walk away and let it defeat us just like that, although we had a losing trade on today. But hey, I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your opportunity to be able to allow me to share with you all um, my trading concepts, my trading model. And also, don't forget Mr. Kenneth Chenault, right? Don't forget him. Make sure you do your research. You go and read, you go and learn, you go and study, and just learn from those people who have done it in positions. You know, him managing over 20 billion, you know, I mean 20 million. I mean 20 billion, I'm sorry. Just go and do your research on these people and you'll learn a whole lot, and then you could take this and adapt this to your trading model and to how you approach the game as a serious investor, as a serious trader. So thank you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back PM session. I'm out.